Welcome back to New Rockstars. I'm Eric Voss, and Star Wars The Bad Batch has explored the aftermath of Order 66 from the perspective of Clone Force 99 and their new kid friend Omega, opening up a very cool possible link between this show and The Mandalorian, the prequels, the other animated series, and some new clues revealed by Ewan McGreggor about the upcoming Obi-Wan Kenobi series that hopefully we can trust more than we can trust Paul Bettany. Now in episode 3, spoiler warning, Crosshair goes way to the dark side, leading a squad of non-clothes as part of Vice Admiral Rampart's Project Warmantle, straight up committing war crimes to shoot, and it sounded like burn alive, civilians with Saw Gerrera's group. Meanwhile, Hunter and Omega chase down one of those pesky Ordo moon dragons who snatch their power source, while Wrecker worryingly keeps rubbing his head right where the inhibitor chip is. Better get that checked out. And then the Kaminoans, facing their cloning operation becoming obsolete, bring up a mysterious next phase. But from these first 3 episodes, a theory is a-brewing about how Dave Filoni plans to tie together these questions we're getting from the show and some other big loose ends from the other Star Wars titles, because I gotta say, so far, The Bad Batch has made a really concentrated effort to weave its narrative into some other concurrent events from the Star Wars timeline. Episode 1 depicts Order 66, a timeline of events we saw unfold in Revenge of the Sith, and then, more recently, in Clone Wars' final season last year. Now we saw it from the point of view of Jedi Master Depa Billaba and her Padawan Caleb Doom, future Kanan Jarrus of Star Wars Rebels, and voiced once again by Freddie Prinze Jr., despite the character being like 14.
I'm here.
The hormones run strong in this one. Now, Depa and Caleb showed up via holochat in Clone Wars' final season, and we know Order 66 is imminent from Tech's line.
Clone Intelligence is reporting Jedi General Obi-Wan Kenobi has found and engaged General Grievous on Utapau.
Placing this around the same time as Obi-Wan's so uncivilized defeat of Grievous in Revenge of the Sith, right before Commander Cody gets the call and shoots him down. Actually, this episode even opened with animated versions of Obi-Wan, Anakin, Palpatine, and Grievous from Revenge of the Sith. And after Hunter lets Caleb escape and they return to Kamino to find another mystery Jedi dead, they see Palpatine's big speech, the one from Revenge of the Sith, maybe even the exact video feed from that drone camera.
The remaining Jedi will be hunted down and defeated.
But I assure you, my resolve has never been stronger.
Into the first
Nothing.
Galactic Empire!
This series addresses why the Empire shifted from clone troopers to stormtrooper recruits. Tarkin considered Kamino and clone troopers too expensive now that the Clone Wars have been pretty much won, and he really just needs an occupying force as he secretly redirects funds to a more efficient superweapon. We also see some elements of The Mandalorian get their origins here in The Bad Batch, like those dark troopers that Moff Gideon sends to capture Grogu. You remember, the ones that Luke Skywalker slices through like I will with cheesecake when Fitness Origins ends? Those were version 3 dark troopers, and here in The Bad Batch, it looks like we see some early beta versions that get unleashed on Clone Force 99 in that Kamino training ground. Then episode 2 of Bad Batch deals with how the Empire is now requiring everyone to carry Imperial chain codes, and in The Mandalorian, Boba Fett proves his identity by revealing his Mandalorian chain code, detailing the lineage of his clone father, Jango Fett. Now, of course, all the clone troopers are clones of Jango Fett, including these Bad Batch clones, Cut Lawquane, who returns in episode 2, and Rex, whom Cut said had just visited him on Seleucami before the Bad Batch arrived, explaining where he went after we last saw him with Ahsoka Tano in the Clone Wars finale. Another Jango clone includes, it would seem, young newcomer Omega, named after the final letter of the Greek alphabet, as she is supposed to be the final mutated clone. But there seems to be something more going on with Omega. But before we continue, big thanks to our friends at Fetch Rewards for sponsoring this video. Fetch Rewards offers users free rewards just by scanning their receipts. The whole process is super easy and only takes seconds. Just scan your receipts from anywhere and you get points, and then you redeem the points and spend rewards all from your mobile device in a matter of minutes. So there we go. I got a receipt from the post office here. Use my scan function, and I'm taking one section at a time here. And then I submit, and then it's uploading, and I get Points, 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 points. I mean, really, you can scan receipts from anywhere. Grocery stores, restaurants, pharmacies. You can even scan e-receipts from online purchases from sites like Amazon. And then you can use the points you earn for all kinds of gift cards, including Amazon, Target, Domino's, or Dunkin' Donuts. You know what tastes better than a Dunkin' apple fritter? A free Dunkin' apple fritter you got with your Fetch gift card. The app is easy to use, easy to sign up, easy to scan the receipts, and easy to save. Download the app now and use the code NEWROCKSTARS to get 3,000 points when you scan your first receipt. This is a limited time offer for our viewers, so act now. Download Fetch and use the code NEWROCKSTARS to get 3,000 points when you scan your first receipt. Omega's Kaminoan mentor Nala Se allowed her in the batch to escape, leading to this mysterious exchange with Kamino Prime Minister Lama Su.
The remaining clones of Squad 99 have escaped, along with Omega.
We must be cautious. Until the Empire's intentions are made clear, say nothing.
Now, he was referring to Tarkin's real reasons for wanting to phase out the clones, the Dark Star. But what deeper importance does Omega have to the Kaminoans that they want to keep from the Empire for now? Well, one theory many are claiming is that Omega might be a Force-sensitive clone, maybe an early attempt in Palpatine's cloning efforts. Omega does have some surprisingly accurate aim when she shoots the rifle out of Crosshair's hands, and seems to be able to read his feelings back in the brig.
I know it's not your fault. You can't help it.
Though I don't know if that qualifies as Force sensitivity necessarily. Like, I read it more as, we need to give this character some degree of complexity and skill, otherwise she's just gonna be annoying as shit. Really, Omega just seems really skilled at picking up and mirroring other clones' talents, like how in this episode she becomes pretty good at tracking just by watching and following Hunter. Some are hilariously comparing Omega's hair to Palpatine's do back in Phantom Menace, or theorizing that she could be Rey's mother, but if Rey's mom would also be a Palpatine Strandcast clone like Rey's dad was, that would be pretty incesty. Stop looking at each other like that, my clones. Yuck. Some are even theorizing that as a female, she could be a clone of Jango Fett's sister, Arla Fett. I mean, maybe the show will make Omega yet another seemingly random character, actually part of some hugely famous bloodline. But really, I think the most important aspect of Omega was her function on Kamino as a medical assistant. Whatever medical secrets the Kaminoans might have been hiding, Omega would have been there for all of it. Which brings us to the interesting chat between Lama Su and Nala Se in episode 3.
We must ensure our clones remain essential.
The original genetic material from Jango Fett continues to degrade.
If your experiment can yield a superior clone, it will secure our relationship with this Empire.
The clones required will not return willingly.
And we only need one.
So, a superior clone made from genetic material separate from that of Jango Fett. Now, I assume they are not referring to the Bad Batch clones because they wouldn't need them if they have Crosshair, right? The implication is that Omega is part of this superior clone program to produce a clone who can quickly learn and repeat unique skills of others, which would be a premium service that the Kaminoans hope would keep them of value to the Empire. But go with me on this. I think it's possible that Omega isn't the only Star Wars character we've seen who's part of this secret project, because some similar mysteries have also been hinted at on The Mandalorian. In Season 1, Dr. Pershing, the scientist who tried to extract DNA from Grogu, wore a Kamino patch. In Season 2, 2 officers also wore that same patch, guarding tanks that appear to contain early versions of Snoke, which Rise of Skywalker confirmed was part of Palpatine's Strandcast Force-sensitive clone effort. So something must have happened on Kamino that Dave Filoni across these shows is interested in exploring. And I think it could be connected to the person Star Wars has now decided is the most marketable face, Grogu. Now, Kuiil said that this child did not look engineered, and I don't think Grogu is like a clone of Yoda or anything. Well, he might be, I just don't think so. But it is possible that this very special child could have been brought to Kamino for genetic testing by someone like Sifo Dyas, the Jedi that hatched that whole deal with the Kaminoans to begin with. Now, timeline-wise, Grogu is actually the same age as Anakin, about 10 years older or so than Omega is. So if Omega was around the same time he would have been even more a newborn. But if Grogu had ever visited Kamino, and if Kamino was aware of Grogu, that would be a secret that Kamino would desperately want to keep from an empire that just massacred all the Jedi. A secret that a Jedi on Kamino might have died to keep the empire from discovering. Now, the little we know about Grogu's origin was told to us by Ahsoka Tano.
He was raised at the Jedi Temple on Coruscant. Many masters trained him over the years. At the end of the Clone Wars, when the Empire rose to power, he was hidden. Someone took him from the temple.
That mystery savior must have been a Jedi Master who knew about Grogu while others like Ahsoka didn't, who was alive and present at the Jedi Temple during Order 66 or shortly after. And in the past, I've deduced that savior could have been Yoda, Obi-Wan, Yaddle, Jocasta Nu, or Mace Windu if he survived. Maybe one of them even using R2-D2 to tote the child. That is, if you read too much into R2 and Grogu's little greeting there. But Obi-Wan emerges now as an interesting option as someone Bad Batch Episode 1 made sure to check in with, and a character getting his own live-action series very soon. Ewan McGreggor just revealed a mysterious cameo is coming in that show.
I got to play a very special scene on May the 4th, someone very special in my life, and that's all I can tell you about it.
Is this
Nice.
someone special that we've seen you on camera with before?
No.
Is this special person related to you in some way?
No, not necessarily.
Damn it, Ewan! Paul Bettany already screwed with us by saying a Luke Skywalker level cameo is coming to WandaVision just for it to be as even paced herself. Don't you hurt us too? But Ewan has also said he was raised not to lie. So if we take him at his word, that would rule out people that he had shared the screen with in the prequels, like Liam Neeson, Frank Oz as Yoda, Samuel L. Jackson, or someone who's related to, like one of his kids. But someone very special in his life, someone special in all of our lives, is Grogu. We could see the flashback of Obi-Wan with Grogu, either when he helped the kid escape or when he was a part of Grogu's passage from hands to hands. And I bring all this up with Omega in the Bad Batch because I believe Omega, as a Kamino medical assistant, was really part of a superior clone program where genetic material is harvested from young gifted donors like Omega and yeah, maybe like Grogu, all to engineer superior specimens for dark purposes. Support this channel by checking out our merch at newrockstarsmerch.com. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at EAVoss. Follow New Rockstars and subscribe to New Rockstars for breakdowns of everything you love. Thanks for watching. Bye.